How to play darts, our ultimate guide. Darts have become a long-standing tradition in bars, pubs, basements and garages. It's a very popular game in the UK and a sport that is often broadcast internationally. It is one of few activities that anyone from ages 10 to 100 can enjoy. Here's what you need to know about how to play darts and how to start enjoying this centuries-old pastime. How to play darts. Playing darts with friends is great fun. We'll help you with everything you need to know. Getting set up. A huge advantage to this game is that not a lot of space is needed. It can be played in apartments or dorm rooms or even outdoors. The only requirements are a dartboard, 6 darts, 3 minimum, and about 7 feet of space. Be sure to place your board in a safe location. Also, be sure to install your dartboard in a low traffic area. At the end of the day, darts are sharp and can cause injuries, so locate the safest possible place to install the board. The basics. There are different variations of throwing darts and each place will have its own darts rules. All games will involve each player throwing 3 darts to score points. Wherever your dart lands on the board will determine your score. All players must throw from behind the throwing line, which is located 7 feet 9 3/4 away from the board. The bullseye should be exactly 5 feet 8 inches off the ground. Make sure the rules of the game are clearly outlined before play starts to avoid any discrepancies during gameplay, as there are no referees. Darts game variations. Keeping track of different games and scoring them can be tricky, so we have provided an overview of the popular variations. 501 and 301. These two games are exactly the same when it comes to the rules. 1. Each player starts with a predetermined score of either 501 or 301. 2. The object is to be the first one to reach 0. 3. Each dart thrown will correspond to a score that will be subtracted from the overall score. 4. If player 1 throws their 3 darts and the total score is 100, then that is subtracted from either 501 or 301 and it now becomes player 2's turn. This is one of the most basic games since each dart will score anytime it hits any number on the board. The tricky part is at the end. To win, the player must hit 0 exactly and that player must hit a double on their last dart to do so. If the player hits a number higher than that and their score goes beyond 0, then their turn ends and the other player continues. Around the clock. Often referred to as around the world as well, this game is great for beginners. It is a very basic game as each player must throw their 3 darts in the hopes of hitting each number on the board in sequential order. 1. Starting at 1, the player cannot advance to 2 until 1 has been hit. 2. If a dart lands on a number that the player is not going for, then it does not count. 3. The first player to make their way from 1 to 20 and then hits the 25 and the bullseye wins. In this game, the double and triple sections do not count as doubles and triples. So if you are shooting for 3 and hit triple 1, it still only counts as 1 and cannot be used to advance to 4. Killer. This game is great for any number of players. It starts by determining an order of play and each player throws in that order for the whole game. You are now a killer. With 5 lives you can start aiming for opponents' numbers and subtracting their number of lives. If your number of lives gets reduced to 0, then you are out of the game. Whoever is the last player alive is the winner. Learning how to throw. Top tips. Step-by-step tips for learning to throw. 1. Ensure your weight is evenly distributed on both feet and your hips are centered. Try to avoid leaning forward as this will throw off your balance. 2. When grasping your first dart, try to do it lightly. 3. Try to position the dart in front of your face so you can properly aim. 4. When you are ready to throw, try to only move your arm. Keeping your movements to a minimum will make it easier to repeat the motion. What to look for when getting your own darts and board. Now you know how to play, time to get your board and darts. Board. The most common darts board is a clock board or treble board. This is sometimes called the double bull. The double bull should be placed exactly 5 feet 8 inches off the ground to install the board at regulation height. A lot of boards come in a cupboard that is mostly used for decorative purposes. However, many of these cupboards also provide a chalkboard to make keeping score a lot easier. If you haven't already got a dartboard, check out our bristle dartboard reviews next. Darts. Choosing your darts will be a matter of personal preference. There are lots of different weights and fly setups to fit each player's preferences. The fly refers to the fins or the tail on the back of all darts. Usually, a game of darts comes with 6 darts, so each player has 3 darts. You can always replace these as you get better with your darts. There are also a lot of options to customize your darts as well. Many are available with your favorite sports team logos or different animals, etc. The sky's the limit, as you can even get your portraits printed on them if you want. How do you play basic darts? To play basic darts, a player's score will be determined by where their dart strikes the board. Each player starts with 301 points, and the first person to get down to 0 is the winner. To win, you must land on 0 exactly while using your last dart to score in a double section. How do you score in darts? To score in darts, your dart must hit a section on the board that corresponds to a point value. If your dart lands in the 20-point section, then that dart is worth 20 points. If your dart lands in the outer ring of the 20-point section, then it counts as double, 40 points. Conclusion. Now you know how to play darts, a game that has been enjoyed for decades by people all over the world. It is a wonderful game that does not require a lot of practice or physical ability to enjoy. There are professional leagues though, so if your game is good enough, you could make a few bucks from it in the future.